What hobbies instantly make someone more attractive to you? Story 1. Back in med school, there was a girl I was really into. We had been hanging out for a while, but I was essentially stuck in the friend zone. One day, in an attempt to swoon her, I called her favorite restaurant from a different city that she had mentioned many times and asked how they made a certain dish that she had also mentioned many times. From looking at pics online of it and with the knowledge they gave me over the phone, I was able to recreate it for her on a bad day as a surprise, and that sealed the deal, so to speak. She later told me that gesture alone was what changed her view of me. Led to a 3-year relationship and many more meals cooked. Story 2. For me, any hobby can make a man more attractive if he's enthusiastic about it, faced with tears of joy. I once went on a date with a guy who does scuba diving, and he went on and on about the different types of tropical fish and other shallow water sea creatures. He talked about their behaviors, which species were invasive, which species were great to eat, and went especially in on Hawaii's state fish, the reef triggerfish. He was so interesting. I wonder what he's up to now. Story 3. Dancing, and I don't mean sexy dancing, I mean ballroom dancing. That shit is attractive without even trying. Something about the intimacy of it as well. My ex and I, we took a ballroom dancing class. Tango, waltz, foxtrot, etc. It was meh at first. Mainly because I kept missing his cues. Eventually the dance instructor asked us if we felt comfortable being more intimate in our dancing. When we said yes, she instructed us to basically dance chest to chest. Suddenly we were flowing. And feeling his body so close to mine while we moved did things to me. I had to keep reminding myself others were around because I wanted nothing more than to close what little distance remained and kiss him. Story 4. Interest in philosophy or just curious about things in general. To have existential discussions. I don't know about you, but I get so tired of the blank stares I get back when I try to talk to guys, most people actually, about anything that isn't superficial crap. It's nice when I find one like you speak of. Helps me work through my understanding of some things, like human nature. There needs to be a healthy sense of humor too, though. Story 5. A man once tried to get flowers delivered to me and found out he couldn't because I live in a rural area in the middle of nowhere. So he learned to make intricate origami flowers, sprayed them with perfume, boxed them up and sent them. The originality, time, and effort he put in really got my attention, and we were together for over a year. Stellar human, and taught me, before it was all over the interwebs, the meaning of if he wanted to he would. Story 6. There's a guy I've known through work for over a decade. He's a good-looking guy, but I'd never found him attractive. Started working with him closely earlier this year and discovered he loves cooking, is a long-distance runner and cyclist, and recently took evening classes in woodworking to make his own bench. So yeah, those things. Story 7. I love when people geek out about anything they are passionate about. I could sit and listen to my most recent partner for hours talk about fucking Yu-Gi-Oh or deathcore and think he was so cute and just want to sit on his face after. It was adorable to me to see him light up when he talked about anything that made him happy. Story 8. My husband likes to cook. His repertoire is limited, and it's nothing fancy, but what he does make us always amazing. Watching him put the effort and time into making my birthday dinner every year makes me love him even more. And on the off chance I mention something he doesn't know how to make, as long as it's not too complicated, he always gives it a try. During the lockdowns, I was sad that we couldn't go out for our annual prime rib dinner date for Valentine's Day. He found a recipe, bow. Story 9. My husband likes to cook. His repertoire is limited, and it's nothing fancy, but what he does make us always amazing. Watching him put the effort and time into making my birthday dinner every year makes me love him even more. And on the off chance I mention something he doesn't know how to make, as long as it's not too complicated, he always gives it a try. During the lockdowns, I was sad that we couldn't go out for our annual prime rib dinner date for Valentine's Day. He found a recipe, bought a roasting pan and meat thermometer, and made the best prime rib I've ever had. Story 10. I don't find any hobby more attractive than another per se. I do find someone who likes to DIY home stuff more attractive, but that's because I've been in a relationship with someone who hated it, so it all fell on me. Having a partner to do it with you is so much better. But the reason I fell in love with my husband is because he felt like a whole person. Very few people have hobbies they actively pursue. He has so many and he inspired me to seek out my own. I never had any before him, and I hated it. Now I have a ton, and it was watching him and being inspired by him that changed my life for the better. Story 11. If they're passionate, I'm going to be dragged by them. I mean, it's like, we become best buddies. I didn't start following F1 races until I saw a friend of mine answer all my questions, with the palpable fire of passion. If I was on my own, I couldn't care less, but it's been a year or so that I have Tsunoda in my heart. I don't know, it's more entertaining to know what he will do rather than oh, look. Verstappen is first again. This to say, if you have the burning fire of passion, it is going to be attractive, but quite literally. I'm going to want to know more, no matter what. Story 12. Any of the following gives a woman an advantage to me right away. Plays a musical instrument. The reason is that both of us are musically inclined and it would be fun to play and explore music together. Maybe we can be a duo. Plays video games, not just casual phone games like Bejeweled or some garden game, but actual AAA or indie type of games on consoles or PC. Action, RPG, FPS, strategy, horror, simulation, sports, we can play together or watch each other play games for fun. Watches anime or reads manga, or enjoys foreign movies either with subtitles or dub. There are lots of foreign shows that are very interesting and entertaining, so it would be great to spend time together enjoying those. Buys toys or dolls and can appreciate the fun in posing them around, taking pictures or making videos with them, or playing with them. I love toys and they've advanced so much, they're incomparable to toys from before the year 2000. Someone who can have fun with them has great imagination, so that makes her mind really quite attractive. Trains in some kind of weapon handling or combat sport. This tells me that the lady knows the value of life, protect herself, protect others, because she knows how easily it can be taken away. In short, she is someone you can trust in a life or death situation. Reads about science, logic, philosophy, and other intellectual subject matters. Smart women are very attractive because they will be able to make rational decisions and not fall prey to trickery and emotional manipulation. They will be able to help in making important decisions, because as a couple, there will be many times when the two of you will have to decide on hard things, and being overly emotional won't help at all. Story 13. Intellectual endeavors, history, science, whatever, or being handy/artistic, also physical stuff can be, but like, just being part of an adult sports league casually because it's the sport you played in high school is not what I mean. That's actually kind of boring to me. More like any physical activity that shows you've got some sense of discipline or self-care about you. Someone who cooks or otherwise thoroughly enjoys food, wine, etc., picky finicky eaters are incredibly unattractive to me. Things I don't like, and maybe even am surprised and had to learn through experience, playing instruments. I am not a big live music fan and so I don't care to watch you play an instrument. Also singing, great, you can sing. When I dated men that could sing they sang all the time. Honestly, I enjoy a bunch of no-talent fools on a fun night of karaoke far more than watching someone show off singing. Car hobbies or other stereotypically male endeavors, I know from personal experience that these obsessions usually are extremely expensive in a way so far beyond other hobbies and interests, and when men get together for this topic they all peacock and try to best each other, and honestly 90% of them are deeply in debt over it. It's just kind of sad and depressing, and cars are a hobby that should be like sailing, reserved for the wealthy, but instead it's a bunch of insecure middle-class dudes going deeply into debt to show off to other middle-class insecure dudes deeply in debt. I don't want someone who is obsessed with politics. I am a government attorney, so politics is part of my everyday life and livelihood, but honestly the very politics-obsessed people are exhausting. Whether they agree with my ideology or not, they're exhausting. Story 14. Maybe this is weird, but martial arts. Ick, knowing that she could knock me out in 1 second is kind of attractive. On a more normal note, really anything that they can talk passionately about. You know that moment when you have a discussion about something and you hit a nerve and the other person goes on a passionate rant about it and starts talking faster and a bit louder and you can see the passion rising in their eyes. Marry me. Just marry me and never stop talking about whatever it is. Make your vows about that topic. Story 15. Anything that involves being outside and being physically active. biking, hiking, swimming, kayaking/canoeing, walking, climbing, sports, etc. I also really like any sort of creative hobby like art-related or music-related. A guy that can sing and loves singing, instant attraction. Or if he doesn't sing but he plays, oh heck yeah. If they can speak other languages besides English, I find that attractive, as well as if they can cook and love the intricacies of food combinations and different cuisines. Story 16. I think if someone has any type of hobby, it makes them that much more interesting. I heard of one of employees that enjoys building his own RC vehicles. He shows me pics of items he wants to purchase online, and shows me his clips of the vehicles doing their thing. I am a bit jealous of him to have such a strong, unique interest in something like that. Story 17. Painting. The way they're fully focused and you can see their facial expressions while thinking which is the best for their art, also their excitement when it's finished and how they explain it to you when you ask, they make it personal to them and always giving it so much time, that's hella attractive. I wish I can give them emotional support so they keep going in their art block times. Had some friends who were passionate about this. It makes me think if they're actually existing or if they're just imaginary. PPL, so cool. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe.